Okay, so this evening we are going to take the UH-1H or Huey helicopter across Northern California in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I didn't know the Huey existed in Flight Sim until today. Somebody sent me an email said, have you seen this? I think you might be interested. So here we are. So I've had a quick scout around the airplane and cribbed how to, or the helicopter I should say, and cribbed how to start the helicopter up. But before we do that, I thought we'd go and have a look around it. So I'm going to use the drone camera and we'll go and admire this piece of hardware. So it comes with many liveries. It's got lots of extra features which we probably won't get to today. We're just going to go and have some fun with it, flying a helicopter. So you can see we've got the crew chief in there, we've got some soldiers we're going to be transporting, and we've got the actual helicopter. You can see it's wonderfully modelled. So it's made by a developer called Toag's Hangar, and you can buy the helicopter from FlightSim.To. It's about £30. I don't know what that works out to in dollars at the moment. But yeah, if we come in closely and have a look at some of the modelling, it's very nicely done. You can see the engine. So there's a grill in there. So if we I'm not going to push all the way through the grill because that would break the immersion, but you get the idea. It's very cool, isn't it? So if we drop down, the crew are really nicely modelled, and the passengers in the back as well. He doesn't look too friendly, does he? Got this cool dude of a crew chief hanging on the side. And a couple of soldiers who look like nothing would ever scare them, which is kind of what you want, I guess. If we come in through the back, you can see the cockpit's modelled really nicely. So if we come in and have a look at some of the switchgear. And you do have the option of more modern gauges, but I'm going to go with the old school ones. So it looks really good. It sounds amazing, just you wait till we get it fired up. It's very good. So overhead you've got the switches for the external lights and the breakers, and the AC and DC power obviously. So, we've got the navigation position lights. I haven't got that on my checklist yet. I've got a first draft of my checklist that I've been putting together so I can get it running myself. Let's go have a really close look. It's amazing, isn't it, how good the modelling has become in the simulator. It really is. Okay, so let's go and move the view outside. And we will revert back to the normal view inside the cockpit. And let's go and get this thing fired up, shall we? So, overhead, Control 5 takes us overhead. We're going to go and I need to move my keys around. I've got several keyboards in front of me and several mice. I'm going to get confused. So, external light section at the top left. We're going to go and put the position lights on steady. And we'll also go and put the navigation position lights on a brightness. We'll go super bright because we're in civilian airspace. So you can just flick anti-collision lights on or off by the look of it. So DC power section at the bottom right, we're going to go and uncage and make sure this is on. It looks like it is. And then put the battery on. You get an alarm immediately, so we come back down to the pedestal and we can reset that alarm by this one, isn't it? Sorry, the low RPM alarm. We'll do that alarm later. So, having done that, we can go and put the fuel on. Let me go and check that you're going to hear everything loud, because you probably need to hear this, because it'd be nice to hear all the different sounds they've implemented. So, I'm just checking my list here. So, fuel is on. So then, on the head of the collective and throttle lever here. If we hold the switch on and keep it down, and we're watching the RPM, waiting for it to get to above 40% before we release the switch. And then we can release the switch, and we're going to increase the throttle to about, oh sorry, that's the collective, increase the throttle to about 25%. Just wait for the engine to come up. So while that's doing that, we can go overhead, and we can put the inverter to main or down, so that's over here. Again, it goes two different directions, and it's reversed on the mouse wheel, which is really odd. And then DC power section, bottom right, we can put starter gen to standby. Then back down in the cockpit, we can go and clear any cautions. So we just flick the reset switch. So we've got an IFF warning, so I've not actually seen that yet. How do we... Oh, here we go, IFF. We can go and switch IFF on. Will that clear that? Possibly not. Oh, there we go. So it's really looking for TACAM. Okay, so then in the normal pilot position, let's go and have a look at what we've got. Oh, hang on, the Xbox controller is playing havoc with us. Look, as soon as I hold the right mouse button down, I'm going sideways. That's got it. So we're going to go and calibrate the altimeter. Calibrate any directional gyros, looks like they're all good. And we can then slowly increase power to about 75%. Let's just keep an eye on the instruments down here. It makes a great sound, doesn't it? Okay, let's just see how loud this has become on the sound. Yeah, I'm going to turn it down a bit so you can hear me over it. Okay. Does sound awesome, doesn't it? So the master caution has come on again. Let's go and see if we can clear that. There we go. So we're starting to introduce collective. You can see it's kicking up dust. Before we do anything then, let's go and put the head tracking on so we can look around. And increase the collective a little bit more. There's a little bit of a breeze, look, pushing us towards those aeroplanes. Just back away from them gently. And let's go and have a look around Shady Cove. Doesn't it look cool? Let's go and get back inside. Okay, so this view is slightly panoramic. I've just zoomed it in slightly. I don't like it when developers do that. Okay, so we want to be going about 170 degrees if we're going to go off towards where we should be going. So let's just rotate the helicopter out, get out of here. Whoa! It's got quite a lot of momentum. It's a big old heavy lump. So we're heading for those hills over there, basically. Just get a bit of a visual reference point there. I would put some backing music on, but I'll get a copyright strike within 30 seconds. Yeah, because we all know what music we would like, don't we? Okay, let's get cracking then. Obviously it has no autopilot or any niceties like that. So the helicopter does have all sorts of options of bits of hardware we can attach to it. So I'm not sure if it has weapons, but if we pull up the clipboard, if I can get it. Whoa! So we can have shaking, which is enabled. There's a tablet GPS, which I haven't switched on yet. It's just a standard one. Modern panel avionics, which you can switch on and off, obviously. So should we have a look and see what they look like? So yeah, you get a G1000 type thing. Cabin decorations, so you get a hula girl over there bouncing around. You get to show the crew or not. There's a medical cabin you can have if you want. You can remove the armour plating. On the other page, we get to do things like putting wire cutters on the front, various different antennas. So if we go and put them on, let's go and have a look outside. There's side armament mounts and a winch if we want one. Let's have a look at that as well. So you can see we've now got the racks to put guns on. And we have a winch. I believe the winch works. We have steps. We can put surfboards on. That's obviously not for the military version. But yeah, they can have surfboards attached to the sides of the helicopter. Particle separators, engine bay, HF antennas, infrared suppressors, HF antennas. There's all sorts of things, look. Right, let's put that away for the moment and see where we are on the map. We've probably wandered off a crazy angle. Yeah, we have. So we should have been aiming over there. Okay, let's concentrate on what we're doing and get some speed. So I have no idea how fast this will go. So we're almost redlining the rotor. I ought to slow down a little bit, I guess. So it has got nav radios. So yeah, we're doing about 100 knots, so it's shifting. Let me just center my view slightly. Should we go down low level through the trees? Good fun, isn't it? Okay, let's have a look at the map. Oops, there we go. Yeah, so we're back to the track of where we wanted to be going. Now we're heading back for the hills in the distance over there. It does look awesome, doesn't it? So going at 100 miles an hour, it's going to take a little while for us to get to Hayfork, isn't it? Whoa, look at that stuttering. Oh, it's probably loading in assets at the airport, isn't it? I do hope they fixed that in the new version of FlightSim. How are the guys in the back looking? Very quiet, aren't they? Not very talkative. So, how do we go about programming the nav radios? Oh, it's down here. Okay. So I'm just having a quick... I'm just going to get some altitude so I can have a look. Yeah, there's the nav radio tuner there, look. That makes sense. We're going massively off course here, by the way. going to take forever if we keep veering around all over the place. Although I suppose at least we went around the airport and not over the top of it. Okay, so what I might do is use slew to chop some of this long leg down to the other end of the route. Otherwise it's going to take us ages, isn't it? We want to get to Somerville. So let's go and press the Y key, and we're going to move ourselves along the route somewhat. So you see it's quite a long way, isn't it? This is testing out the servers, isn't it? Can they keep up? The higher we go, the faster slew moves. I don't know if you knew that. So yeah, if I pause here, you'll see the vegetation appear as the servers catch up with me. Right, we're getting closer to Somerville. So let's go and zoom in on the map here. And we'll get within a couple of mountains of it, and then we can obviously figure out how we're going to get there. This will do. So what we're going to do is go down there. So just looking at the map, we can go along here and then around the corner to get into Somerville. So we'll follow the river. Oh, it doesn't like going too fast. It started to roll left of its own accord. Just reading the live stream comments, that was a bit like Airwolf, wasn't it? Stringfellow Hawk with the rocket engines on his... Was it a Bell 222? Something like that? I can't remember. Santini Air, wasn't it? The Ernest Borgnine's operation. Okay, so I'm making our way along this ridge, and then we'll be taking a left turn in a moment. So I've got the throttle and the collective at 75%, which seems to be quite happy, chugging along, doing that. Yeah, so it's round this next hill. We go left. And we can see a road down here, can't we? In the trees. Oh, sim is frozen. Let's wait for it to catch up. Hopefully it doesn't put us into the floor. There we go. So, now is it the first left or the second? It's the first. So I presume we can follow the road down this valley. I think we're still going the right way. So, if you wanted to join in, I'm heading towards Summerville, which is CA102. Because you'll all appear as crazy aircraft, because I probably haven't got what you're going to join in, so you'll appear as A300s probably. Let's have a look at the map. So we're slowly getting there. So around this corner somewhere we should find Somerville. In fact, immediately around this hill to the left. So there should be a flat area of land and a lovely little airstrip. Oh, that's the plan. Now, is that the airstrip? Let's have a look on the map. No, it's further to our right. This is just a clearing. Should we get some altitude? So we can get our bearings. It's quite tough in the trees, isn't it? Here we go, look. It was hiding. If I go down the far end, there's a bit more clearance down there, isn't there? I was looking at that clearance over there, but it's on a steep incline, isn't it? So maybe we just park it somewhere around this, by this shed. God, it's screenshot worthy, isn't it? I think I might have killed the engine, you know. So, if you get into this situation with it, what do you do? Oh no, it just takes a while to wind back up again, that's all. So let's go and have a look on the map before we set off. So we're going to carry on 20 miles to the south, or 160 degrees-ish, to Weaverville, to that the place we were on the ridge the other evening where we crashed the the beaver repeatedly. Okay. Should we just have a little look around here before we go? Okay, off on our merry way. So we're heading straight up these hills, basically. Oh my word. So Adam's given me a tip towards my new computer. Thank you very much, Adam. That's much appreciated. So yeah, I will be putting the order in for it probably this weekend. Yeah, I've had no end of people emailing me actually the last 2 days saying, was I not at the well, was I not invited to the FlightSim launch? But yeah, I don't know how that works or how the people that went. I'm guessing they were invited. I don't know. But looking at the cross section of people that went to the FlightSim 24 launch, it seems to be, I think Asobo are playing a canny game. we're trying to attract the mass market. So they've gone after people that have got popular Twitch channels or that aim for the middle ground. They didn't really have many people there that were really interested in the big complicated aeroplanes, because that is a very small corner of, you know, of the whole community. So I think the people that they were trying to attract to, you know, obviously to now get the content out with the early access version of FlightSim.To were much more targeted at gamers rather than any of the professional pilots, because I haven't seen many of the professional pilots. Obviously they're working pilots. The one I did see was went, but he did it, he just fitted it in between his normal job, so, you know, no sooner had he got there, he had to leave. I wonder how this thing deals with altitude. Slowly making our way up the hillside. Okay, what direction are we going? Let's keep an eye on it. That's the trouble with mountainous areas. It's difficult to maintain a direction to look outside. Oh, are we going to get over the top of here? I might have to go and scout around for a valley route. I'm at full collective and full power at the moment. I know I've got damage switched off on the engine though, so it shouldn't hurt us. I just don't know aerodynamically if we can keep doing this. We are going to run out of steam eventually. Or run out of air, I should say. I love the sound of the blades slapping the air. It's very good, isn't it? The specs of my machine at the moment is an i7, a fairly quick CPU, with a 3080 RTX NVIDIA card, 16 gig of RAM, and I've got a 1 terabyte NVMe drive and a 2 terabyte SSD, normal SSD, which has got FlightSim on it. Or rather, FlightSim's installed on C drive because you don't get any choice over that. But the packaging or packages folder is on the D drive. The computer I'm looking to order will almost certainly be an i9, a quick i9, 64 gig of RAM, and a 4090 graphics card. And it'll have liquid cooling, I guess. I'm not going to build it myself. I'm going to buy one off the peg. I'm not sure if I'll go 4K because the overhead of generating 4K content, I'm not sure if YouTube really needs it yet, or if the audience really needs it. So let's find out which direction this valley is going. Okay, this valley's going the right way. Does this valley take us all the way, actually? No, we're going to have to climb. So, at what point do we climb is the question. So if we start gaining altitude now, should we close the doors? If we tell the crew chief to go away. We should be able to close the doors. Where are the handles for them? They're out of the way, aren't they? Not sure that we can click on them. Can we do that via the clipboard? We're going too fast again. Not sure that we can. Yeah, I'm going to go with liquid cooling for the new computer because it generates so much less noise than air cooling. And the 4090 cards are kind of renowned for being noisy. So yeah, people specs at me. I am not a hardware person. I'm a software developer in the real world. So I don't really know. I used to know about hardware years ago. And I used to build PCs years ago. Only for myself. But, in the last 20 years, I just haven't. Partly from, bringing up children. There's just too many things going on. So yeah, that's one of the, just reading the live stream comments about the power supply requirements for the bigger graphics cards. It's going to be a monster power supply on it as well. And, obviously the heating designed to deal, the cooling designed to deal with that. So let's see where we need to go. Okay, yeah, we need to go up this ridge. So we'll follow this ridge to the top. Hopefully. I was hoping we could close the doors. I'm not sure how you get to the switches for them without. I'll have to do it when I'm on the ground. Now, is that the lookout on the end of the ridge? I think it might be. Let's just drop ourselves back down. And I need to see where I'm going, so I'm going to crane over the dashboard to get a good look. It does have a helipad over at the station. Yeah, this is becoming a real handful. I'm guessing is there wind here? 6 knots from the north. keep an eye on that tree as well. Yeah, this is becoming a real handful because of the thin air, I guess. Going to stay away from the building. And because of that wind. So let's just see which way round we are. So we're going with the wind. That's why we're having trouble. The helicopter's trying to turn itself around. Now, I am not a helicopter pilot by any means, so if I get anywhere near this pad, I'll be happy. Actually, is it a pad? I don't think it is it? No. So they probably let people land anywhere here. I thought it was a pad, but it's not. Okay, should we go and jump outside? The shaking is moving the drone camera. Oscar's asking what framework I use. I don't do a lot of web development. It tends to be a lot of corporate work, so a lot of it's things with, you know, the Microsoft stack, so it's SharePoint which uses, or sometimes SharePoint user interface stuff, which uses a lot of React and things like that. But to be honest, the last 3 or 4 years, I've become almost exclusively a Ruby on Rails developer because I work on government stuff a lot. And a lot of government projects, or like public-facing government projects, are built with Ruby on Rails. And yeah, the amount of testing and user research and accessibility standards are just through the roof. And Ruby on Rails lends itself to that. Should we go and have a quick nosy up at the place up here? I wonder if we could land up here. Should we go and try it? So back in the helicopter, as long as we're going into the wind, it should be fairly straightforward, shouldn't it? Yeah, that explains it. When we slowed down coming in, we had a tailwind and it was trying to weathercock the helicopter and rotate it. So as long as we face into the wind, we'll be absolutely fine. Oh, bit of a bounce. Skittering around on top of the hill. So I'm being asked, do I use a separate collective and throttle? I'm using an Airbus controller, so I've split the sticks on it, so the left throttle is the collective and the right one is the power. So that's what I've done. which gives me enough control to be able to control it. So the tail rotor is twist on the Airbus joystick. So let's go and bring the power up. Before we take off, let's go and have a look around. So we're wanting to go down the hillside to Weaverville. So 115 degrees. So based on the direction we're pointing, it's going to be down there somewhere. We're following this ridge line. Oh, I suppose it wants us to go that way, doesn't it? Cut across the ridges. Should put the crew chief back on. He was a bit of a cool dude, wasn't he? Okay, I need to see where I am. So we're heading straight for the airport. I think it's just over the ridge, isn't it, down there? We'll explore the town when we've had a look at the airport. So this is Weaverville and Weaver Valley Trailhead that we'll go and have a look at in a moment. Okay. Go and have a look at some of these buildings along here before we go and look at the other end of the airfield. So there's obviously a truck stop of some description. hardly any wind here, look. It's windy up on the hilltop. It's a Cessna. It's a Tomahawk, is that? Looks like it. A couple of Tomahawks. Is that a sign saying don't land on the grass? I think it's something telling you about the gradient of the runway. Yeah. Okay. Let's go and have a look. So we're going to go the opposite direction. So 250 degrees over to Weaverville Trailhead. And then we'll carry on down across the hills. Is there a way around rather than over? No, I think we have to climb again to get to Hayfork Valley Lookout. So what direction was it? 230. And what direction are we pointing? So we want to turn almost directly back on ourselves. That way, up on the hill, I guess. Should we skim this grass verge? Get some speed up and start climbing again. So as far as I understand, there's a lot of custom buildings in the area that are kind of, you know, like local landmarks. So just reading the live stream comments there, yeah, if you saw what I'm doing on the yoke and the levers, it's not cut. While the helicopter looks fairly calm, I'm not. The stick is waving around as you come into hover, as was being explained. The levers are being thrown all over the place and the stick is being thrown all over the place. The huge advantage I have is my brother flew radio control helicopters and I learned to fly them on the same simulator that he used back in the day called RC Aero Chopper, and it gave me kind of an innate understanding of how helicopters work. It was a very, very good simulator. Good enough that he was able to go and buy a radio control helicopter and fly it without any assistance. And I don't think he ever crashed his helicopter. And he basically flew 3D patterns with it on his first flight, which is, you know, and in the day was unheard of. But I only ever got, because I didn't have money, I was still at college. So I never bought a helicopter and never got into it as much as he did. But I played around on the simulator. And it was brilliant, and it taught you so much about how helicopters work and how to fly them. So Serge is saying, yeah, he remembers RC Aero Chopper. Yeah, it had a cable. You plugged in a, it had like a custom Futaba control box that you plugged into the D connector that a joystick would normally go into. So you used the same controls as you would with a radio control aircraft. But yeah, basically using the simulator taught you the muscle memory and taught you to anticipate what the helicopter was going to do. It was very, very good. Right, so we're going to bridge this valley. So how is the Huey in Flight Sim compared to DCS? It's not going to be as accurate, but it's not bad. The flight modelling in Flight Sim for helicopters has got better and better. But I've not tried the one in DCS, so I couldn't say for definite. It behaves as you would think a helicopter should behave, basically. Okay, we'll have to slow down as we climb. I have been pushing forwards pretty much the whole time. There are some controls you can map for the cyclic, for trimming the cyclic so you don't have to keep putting pressure on the sticks. Is that the... Where is the cabin? Just trying to remember where we're heading for. Oh, it's a bit further on, okay. So we just carry on. It's probably up on top of that hill, I would imagine. It's just a bit too far out to be rendering it yet. Have a quick look at the map. Yeah, it's further on. Is that it over there? No, it's directly in front of us apparently. Must be up on top of this hill. Because there's the road. See the access road? Should we follow the access road around the hill to get to it? So apparently this road is modelled really well, so you can get one of the cars that you can drive in Flight Simulator and drive it up the road. Where is the station? Ah, it's right in front of me. So, we're going to have a look at the wind. Yeah, we're going to go this way and turn around and come back. It's because we want to be flying into the wind. I'm guessing the safest place to put a helicopter is right on this corner. Let's go and have a look around. So there's obviously a bush fire monitoring station up here. Was there a helipad at this end? No, but you could probably put a helicopter there, couldn't you? What are you looking at? That's funny. A couple of tents and a toilet. Okay, so let's go and see where we go next. So back down towards Hayfork, and then we got a trip. We'll probably use Slough for that bit to jump across to Red Bluff, and then go over to the camping grounds. So 150 degrees. So let's go and jump back inside if I press the right buttons. So where's our direction? We're facing exactly north. So almost double back on ourselves. Okay, so let's power the engine back up. Let's back away from the trees. And off we go. So 150 degrees. So we can basically follow this ridge line back down to the plain down there. So we might as well go on the ridge line then if we're going to do that. Does look very good, doesn't it? Oh, look where I'm going. Before I have an enormous accident. Okay, so if we cut across the ridge over here. Yeah, the Huey makes a lovely noise, doesn't it, with the blade slapping the air. For example, if I do it on purpose, so let's get the view right. So let's go and give it a load of collective. So we'll let it fall. Oh, you're not actually going to... There we go, you can hear it doing it. How not to fly a helicopter. Okay, let's have a look at where we are. So, just over here then somewhere is Hayfork. So we're going to have a nosy around the airport. And then I'll slew us over to the next place. Yeah, you can just see it in the trees down here, look. I've always meant to go... I've taken off from here in fixed-wing aeroplanes and looked over. There's like a supercross track over here. And a dirt track for truck racing. It's cool, isn't it? Whoa, I'm losing power. What have I done? Oh. Where's the fuel? Have I run out of fuel? I wouldn't be surprised. Or did I overstress the... I think I overstressed it. Because I threw it into a quick stop. It didn't like it, did it? I don't know, this seems to be extremely well modelled. Yeah, let me just cancel the alarm. So before we go anywhere, I'm just going to have a look around at some of the gauges to see how the helicopter is doing. So we got an oil pressure, chip detector. That's because I've been running the engine too hot. That'll be why. Can we repair the engine in the clipboard? There we go. So it has got damage modelling then. That would make sense why we suddenly lost the engine then. We overstressed it. So, I was going to look for fuel as well. I guess we can look up here. This is cheating, isn't it, though? Fuel, we've got tons of fuel left. So, we're going to use slew then, 105 degrees. Let's get in the air first. About that way. So going to save us a stack of time to go and cross these hills. As someone mentioned earlier, Airwolf mode. So look at the change in scenery all of a sudden once we're out over these flats. Okay, I'm not going to descend all of that distance. I want to come back down. Oh, hello, Sim's frozen. Give it a moment. I think that might be a RAM issue, you know, when it freezes. I've often suspected it's USB, but it doesn't always correlate. So, I've got this scenery lit up in LittleNavMap that I've got the scenery for it, but I don't think I've ever visited it. Or if I have, I've forgotten about it. So we're going to go and have a look at it. This is Red Bluff. Where's the actual... We're about 2 miles out then, 3 miles out. It's over here somewhere. We have some fun flying through the trees along the way. First pylons we've seen all day. Thankfully I haven't got the power lines add-on installed. So, the airfield should be just over here somewhere. Oh, there it is. This is a new one on me as well. Either that or my memory's completely failing me. I've turned head tracking off, haven't I? I've just realised. I thought, why isn't this tracking my head? I'm craning my head around and nothing was happening. So that bus could have waited, couldn't he? Oh, there was somebody stood there. I didn't notice them. It's a pretty plain airfield, isn't it? But that's not the real reason we're here. We're here to go over to 70 degrees. There's Cone Grove Cabin and Bush Plain Campout. So I thought that might be good fun to go visit them. So 70 degrees. So, if you look at the hills, they're going to be on the hillsides over there, aren't they? 7 miles though. I guess we enjoy the scenery for a few minutes while we're flying low across the trees and buildings. Change the time of day slightly, put it into the evening maybe, see what it looks like. Oops. Oh, we have company. Okay, so we're going roughly the right direction, but we need to go up on top of these hills and find the campground. A bit lower. I think morning might be better actually. Oops. Oh, what's wrong with this? Oh, the Xbox controller's drifting. That would explain why the airplane's being a handful. Or helicopter even. Yeah, look, it won't let me... Oh, it's... I know why. I'm going to have to let go of the controls to do it. No, it's... I think I've broken the sim, you know. Let's try that again. It's working now. There we go. Some early morning light. Don't go the right direction now, hey. So we're searching for a campground. So let's go and move this. So it's up on top of the flat area up here. So are there any landmarks we can go by? Not really. We'll just go carefully and hopefully we'll find it. So there's a flat area and it's just over the other side apparently. I think I got this scenery as part of the kit with the Freedom Fox, maybe, from Parallel 42. Around the same time they came out with the camping kit, or camp out kit I think it's called. So I'm just looking around. If you see some tents and light aeroplanes parked in amongst the trees, we'll have found it. Directly in front of us. Oh, it must be over here, look, there's a clearing. Yeah. You can see the tents down there. So we have to find out where we're going to put the helicopter down, I guess. Have they put a makeshift windsock down anywhere so we can see? No pressure. So, I'm going to rev the engine back up, otherwise it's going to die. So we want to go north now, and there's another one just across the river. So, back into the air. Go and wake them up in their sleeping bags, shall we? Go and pass right over them. Blow the sleeping bags away. So I seem to remember, is the house in the corner, does it, oh no, it's somewhere else. There's a house on a hillside that has like barbecue and stuff going on and a smoke. That must be somewhere else. So there's the other heli, just taking off. Okay, what direction did we say? Yeah, about that way. So we just go across the ridge. It's going to be where these rocks are, isn't it? They're custom. I think it's that flat area right there. Oh no, it's to the right of it, possibly. We'll have a scout around when we get there. Okay, so it's not here, it must be up on top of the ridge. Or to one side of it, I can never remember. Ah, there they are. Just to the side of the hill. And there's the house I remember with the smoke. Or at least someone's got a barbecue going. Going to ruin their peace and quiet now. So if we fly in from the valley side, we'll fly up their airstrip. They've got stones on the ground marking out the airstrip. We're going to put ourselves up the corner, and in the corner, so we're not clogging the runway up. The trouble is, a helicopter would blow all these airplanes over, wouldn't it? They'd have to be tied down. Well, maybe we should go in the field across the fence. Oh no, there's plenty of room up here, isn't there? So I'm guessing he doesn't have the scenery because he's hovering. So let's go and have a look around the scenery, shall we? So let's turn the drone camera around. There we go. See the other helicopter taking off in the smoke. Look, how cool is that? So, well, yeah, what have we done with the camera? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. How do we shut this thing down then? There must be an official way of doing it. So, let's have a look around. Turn the fuel off, that's one surefire way to do it. Just starve it. No doubt there is a rotor brake somewhere around here, but I don't know where any of the controls are for any of this stuff yet, because I haven't learnt it. And his leg's in the way. Yeah, I've no doubt there are switches and levers all over the place that I haven't discovered yet. All I've done so far is learnt the very basics. I wonder what they do. That was good fun. So just to recap for the route, we took off, we used slew a little bit along the way. We took off from Shady Cove and weaved our way down, and then eventually gave up and went to Slough and flew into Summerville, and then we climbed across the mountains and visited Weaverville, and then into Weaverville, and then jumped over to Hayfork Valley Lookout, and then we dropped down into Hayfork, and then shortcut all the way across to Red Bluff, which was quite boring, and then came over to this really picturesque couple of airfields. So I think these came with the Freedom Fox, or they're optional, so I think you can buy them from Parallel 42. So the Cone Grove cabin and the Bush Plain campout. So yeah, if you just looking on the live stream comment, Sasquatch is saying that they live near Shady Cove. So once I stop the stream, you'll be able to go and have a look and see how accurate it is. Okay, I'm going to stop this here. Thank you for watching and for following along, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care.